Welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're taking a look at The Mighty Endeavor Expanded Edition from Multiman Publishing. As this game's been around for a little while, the original one, which is just The Mighty Endeavor, I have that. It's been on my shelf for a while. I got it secondhand, but this is the expanded series edition, so it has a whole extra map and a whole extra front in it. So this is part of the SCS, the Standard Combat Series. It was originally from The Gamers, which is kind of down here, but it's now printed by Multiman Publishing. Series is designed by Dean Essig. He designed half of this game. The other half is from Tim Armstrong and Steve Newhouse. So what is The Mighty Endeavor? Well, The Mighty Endeavor is, generally speaking, a two-player hex encounter World War II war game, and you're playing this at a pretty high level at this point. Now, the original was just the Western Front. It was, Battle of Normandy, Breakout, taking over France, Race to the Rhine, all that kind of stuff. Now, this one, the expanded edition, you have the East Front as well. So you've got two players crushing in. You could do this 3 players. You could do it 4 player in that way if you wanted to, kind of play both sides concurrently. And then I don't know how that would work, but you could give that a go. I'm sure someone's done something like that. So this particular edition came out in 2014, so it's been around, like I said, for a little bit of time. But this is our first time getting this expanded edition, so thought we'd just kind of take a look and see what you get in this, because this particular game is fairly well received, especially this edition of it. So you get the 1d6, and you get a little gold piece of paper with your contents in it. So we're going to take a look here. We have this is the Mighty Endeavor revised game rules. Now there is a set of series rules, which we'll get to, but basically the game rules themselves are like an extra 6 or 7 pages on top of the regular series rules, which are about 10 pages. So in this game, you're going to be looking at about 17 pages of rules. Got some scenarios and setups in here as well, and some reinforcement charts, combat tables, and support tables on the back with a sequence of play. So what we're going to do is we're going to fish out the series rules. That's the expansion. Unless this is the series rules. Okay, so if you buy this 2014 game, you're getting version 1.7 of the rules, if I could get it out. Which I cannot. Oh, these are even smaller than I remember them being. The series rules, 1.7, that's the rules. It's not even 5 pages. So that's even smaller than I thought it would be. So we've got 5 pages of rules in 1.7, plus the old 7-odd pages of rules in here as well. And this is one of the reasons I love Standard Combat Series. When people ask me for introductory war games, what should be my first hex encounter war game, I kind of point towards SCS because it has a very low rules overhead and you're almost immediately playing the game, which is a huge boon, that you don't have to slog through 60 pages of rules and it's very complicated. It's a very quick and easy system to learn, and if it's like, oh yes, I really liked this, you can parlay that into other SCS games, or you can be like, yeah, I'd like to dive deeper into some of the more intense hex encounter games with the 40-page rule books, but I know that I like this style, so you can do a lot with it. So then we have the Mighty Endeavor expansion, and this has 2 pages of rules, and then it's all setup stuff. So again, this is bigger than both those other books combined, but most of it is setup stuff for the other front. We do have another red D6, so we get 2 D6 in there. That was just buried. So we got a number of maps in here that we will fish out here in a bit. Well, yes. So the maps we'll get to, there's a number of them, some of them large, some of them small. I'll get the box out of the way here. We do have counter sheets. So this is the counter sheet that I am used to. It's the counter sheet you get in the original one that just, again, has the West Front. German units there on the left. Allied units there on the right, generally speaking. And these do have on the back of them a reduced side as well. And then we got a number of admin markers for various landing ports and, supply markers, things like that. But very much, attack, defense, move values. Very similar to the kinds of things that you would expect in this type of a game. And some of them have nothing on the back because they're one-step units. Some of these are larger step units. And they have a little step number on them to let you know if there's anything on the back. But that's, a very standard SCS, Standard Combat Series, kind of counter that you would expect. This is the one from the expansion. So if you're playing with the East Front stuff, more Germans, a lot of Wehrmacht, a lot of SS, and then these blue ones, maybe Luftwaffe divisions. I could be wrong about that. And then we have a bunch of Soviet units. So you got Russians, we've got a lot of Guards units down here, a lot of regular Red Army units up here as well. A lot of armor in the middle, it looks like. But that's it. A lot more combat units. So 2 sheets of counters only, and that's a lot of units in fairness. We'll look at the maps here, because the first one we're going to do is the kind of normal, standard Mighty Endeavor map. If you buy the Mighty Endeavor and you get the old one that doesn't have the expansion, this is pretty much what you're looking at. Basically the entirety of France, and then a little bit of Western Germany, little corners of Italy and Switzerland, which are basically out of play. So you've got your England box, where you're going to stage all your troops, do your landings, Battle of Normandy, liberate France, push up. You can land guys with the Champagne landings to the south as well, through the med box. We bring it up, make your little Falaise pocket up here. Germans are going to kind of retreat, and then it's race this way. You're going to have to get through the massive line of, is it the Siegfried line? I can't remember if that's the correct name, but all of these static defenses, which are labeled by these little hedgehog type things as well. But this is kind of the core of the game, and if you buy just that single version, this is what you're going to get. Got yourself a little CRT printed on the map as well, and it's printed this way because your German player sat over here, Allied player, kind of generally speaking, sat over here, and then if you're playing with the expansion, you have another German player, a map, and a Soviet player. But you do have a turn track over in this top corner. You have an airdrop track, and we have all of our kind of different turns over here, and it lists how many replacements that you're going to get as well, with US replacements, Commonwealth replacements, and German ones, and then a little terrain key with our terrain effects on movement and combat as well. An extremely helpful map, very, very good, but you're going to play this one kind of vertically, so to speak. And we also have, before we forget, we have let's overlay this, a little peninsula up here with Cherbourg. So this, I don't remember this being an extra map. So this is a little bit changed from that first edition I have. I don't remember this being its whole separate thing, but you got a little tag. This is like a single piece of paper, basically, that overlays here. So we'll get a little bit of poster tape on the back and stick that on when we're playing that. A little bit, you got to go and take Cherbourg and Brest, basically. So we'll put that away for now, just because that's going to get in the way. So then the other map, which is the last thing that's in the box, is the East Front map. And we're going to put it this way. So this is going to line up here. And it's kind of, I'll be honest, a little bit of an awkward shape. Let me make sure I can line it up properly. There we go. It's kind of like this. Is it that? There you go. So you've got kind of a lengthways one, and then a normal kind of widthways one that you got going on here. But you have all of the Russians charging in from the east through basically Poland and Hungary, coming in through Greater Germany, trying to smash Berlin, and very much it's this pincer maneuver, right? And you got the Western Front doing the same type of thing. So these are the maps you're looking at. Again, it's very functional and it's very clear with the delineations of the terrain and what's in there and the roads and the names. I've always found SCS to be very friendly in that way. They don't leave you any guesswork about what's where and what's in that. So that's basically everything that's in the box. But I love this system, and I'm very excited to play this particular game. I've had the original on my shelf for a while. I've kind of set it up and played around with it a couple times, but since we've kind of been more into SCS, I haven't revisited it. but we had the opportunity to pick up a kind of new version of that one, so I will probably at some point get rid of the old one and just play this. But I am very much looking forward to this because, again, SCS is an eminently playable system, and especially at a scale like this, it's very, very good. So if you're interested, if you've never played a Hex Encounter wargame and you kind of want to dive into something, you can play just the one map in this if you're so inclined. So it's not maybe as big and sprawling, but this is a great place to start. Frankly, any of these ones in this system, the SCS system that you're interested in, are probably a decent place to start. But this is also, this covers so much that in and of itself is of fairly wide appeal. So the Mighty Endeavor from MMP. I know this is a little bit of an older game, but check it out if you're interested. If you can get your hands on a copy, the expanded edition's well worth it. But appreciate you very much for tuning in. I've been Alexander from theplayersaid.com.